We good? All right, so interesting thing about the humerus is we're going to start up here with a lot of muscle mass, but as we taper down, we can actually palpate the humerus in between biceps brachii and triceps brachii. And actually, you can get down here, you actually can feel the humeral bone. All right, you actually don't have a lot of muscle down here or on the inside. So you can actually come down here, almost squeeze it, you can feel the humerus. And you can see on the board, it's actually going to go almost like an hourglass flare. You guys can see the flare, put little red arcs on it. And that flare, those are your supracondyle ridges. Supra meaning above, condyle meaning condyle, and ridge meaning ridge. I don't have anything for that, all right? So those two little flare lines, those are your supracondyle ridges. Keep everything in anatomical position, really, really important. So in this is the anatomical position, this would be the lateral supracondyle ridge, this would be the medial. The supracondyle ridges are going to flare and terminate on these two little knobs. Some people probably have knobby elbows, right? Lateral epicondyle, medial epicondyle. Epi being Latin for little bump, like an epilet, like a little bump. So these little bumps are very, very important landmarks. When you do your muscle worksheets, you're going to see epicondyle repeated over and over and over again. So much like coracoid process of the scapulae, much like fibular head, if there's a landmark that has a lot of muscles, what do you think I'm going to do for a practical exam? It's going to be on it. All right, so make sure you guys feel comfortable with your medial and lateral epicondyles. Questions so far? Supracondyle ridges, medial lateral epicondyle. Yes?
When you and with those condyles, are you like flex and extend? Like, can you feel them move? Is that where you know where you're at?
Well, the condyles are attached to the humerus, so any motion here, they won't move. Okay, because the humerus isn't moving. Your ulnar and radius will be moving, but because we're on the humerus, that's not moving. Kind of makes sense? You'll feel the muscle belly a little bit. Now, one thing to do to see if you're on the epicondyles is if you flex and extend your wrist, you'll feel the muscle masses moving underneath your fingers. So if you just do that now, palpate your epicondyles here and flex and extend, you should be able to actually even see and feel the muscle masses on the epicondyles, right? Because all your hand and wrist muscles are going to originate from there. Kind of make sense? Questions so far? All right. The other major landmark on the anterior side is our radial head. All right. Ooh, I keep forgetting my new pointer. There it is, radial head. Oh, wait for it. Oh, no, I don't want to do this. This technology is awesome. No, it's not. Technology is horrible. It should not be used at all. All right, see that little, that's radial head. So there's our epicondyles. There's our radial head. This is an anterior view, okay? Radial head, easiest way to find radial head. One hand shakes. Thumb, I palpate the lateral epicondyle. So my thumb is on that lateral epicondyle. I just drop down and you'll feel radial head right where your thumb is. So just drop right off lateral condyle and then you supinate and pronate, you'll feel the radial head pivoting. All right? You're going to notice there's a crease right here in your elbow. I am distal to that crease. That makes sense? That is radial head. Now, key aspect, everyone put your right hand in anatomical position. Key aspect about forearm. The ulna is fixed. It is locked into the humerus. Ulna doesn't move. It's locked. Pronation and supination occurs with the radius. It is the radius pivoting on a fixed ulna. That makes sense? That radial head, when you look at it, see how it's rounded? It allows for the pivot action to occur. So in supination, the two bones are parallel. When you pronate, your radius pivots over a fixed ulna because the ulna is locked into the humerus. That kind of makes sense to everybody? When we do supinator, pronator, teres, pronator, quadratus in a couple minutes, it's key to remember. It's always the radius pivoting on a fixed ulna. Good questions. All right, so let's do our anterior palpations. Find yourself a partner. If you are single, find yourself another single, or we'll do a triple up. If you have a jacket or a sweatshirt, you're going to want to take it off because you want to have access to the elbow. Here we go. As a group. Oh, Jesus.